Hi guys! So 2 weeks today, the best show of all time is returning to our TV screens. That's right, season 5 of Once Upon a Time. It starts on the 27th of September and this is exactly 2 Sundays before it. Well, this is the Saturday that I'm filming, but you'll be seeing this tomorrow. So in honour of that, because I'm so excited for season 5 to start, I decided that finally, after all this time, I would do a Once Upon a Time tag. Now, I have done a bit of YouTube research, I've looked at a few different tags, and there are a few different ones floating around out there, but I decided that there were specific questions that I really wanted to answer, and therefore I would just make up my own tag. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Question 1. Who is your favourite character? This is quite difficult because I have a lot of characters who are very dear to me and who I love very much, but my answer is, and probably always will be, Emma Swan. For a start, I absolutely love Jennifer Morrison. I think that she's an amazing actress, and the character of Emma is someone that I think a lot of people will relate to in terms of her kind of struggle to let people in. I think she's in a very interesting position in the show in terms of the fact that she's from a fairy tale land, but she doesn't actually have any experience of living there. She doesn't really know anything about that world when she comes into it, and it takes her quite a long time to accept who she really is and accept her family. And she's so fiercely independent and such a strong woman, you know, especially in terms of sort of physical strength. She's totally kick-ass, which I love. And I just think that her character development from the very beginning of season 1 to where we are now at the end of season 4, in terms of the lengths that she'll go to protect the people that she loves, the fact that she's now fallen in love with Hook, which just makes my heart so happy, and she's accepted her family, and she really has developed this bond with her parents and Henry, and the friendship that she's now got with Regina. I just think that she's come such a long way, and there's always going to be room for new and exciting developments with her character, which I think we're going to see in this season with her being the Darkspawn, which I'm still not okay with, but yeah, she's my favourite character. I think this is going to be a long video, don't you? Okay, favourite couple. Very, very easy, like so easy. Hook and Emma. Straight away. I am a massive Captain Swan shipper. You will know this if you've watched my Once Upon a Time videos before. I think this show does an amazing job with romance and relationships. I think it chooses its pairings very, very well, and the writers do such a wonderful job of creating that connection between these people. And so I love Snow and Charming, and I loved Rumple and Belle. Who knows what's going to happen with them after this. I think there's a lot of lovely couples. Regina and Robin just are awesome. But for me, Hook and Emma, or Killian and Emma, are always going to be my favourite, because I think the road that they've kind of taken to getting together and watching that spark, that kind of initial spark that flew between them, grow and develop from this kind of love-hate relationship into something really secure and lovely, and they've found this support in one another that they both really needed. So yeah, they're my favourite. Question 3, favourite season. I love them all, but my favourite season, season 3. I think that the storylines that they worked into that season were absolutely incredible. From the first half of the season, really focused on Neverland, and the Peter Pan storyline was just absolutely incredible. Then moving into the second half of the season with Zelina coming in and causing chaos, I just think that there were so many amazing things about season 3 that it's definitely my favourite. Favourite episode? Very easy again, the season 3 finale is just one of my favourite episodes of anything that has ever been made for TV. It just is incredible. I love the time travel aspect of things, because I always really enjoy sort of time travel related things and parallel universe things, which is why I love the show so much. But I just really loved obviously the kind of focus on Emma and Hook spending that time together, and I just thought there were just so many brilliant moments in that episode. From the kind of Emma and Hook encountering Hook in the past and kind of trying to get around that, and getting to see the characters that we now know and love in Storybrooke as they once were back in the Enchanted Forest. So seeing Regina again as the evil queen that we haven't really experienced for a while and everything just worked really well, so loved it. And just a little bonus question, if you can answer it, which I know that I can, which is why I've thrown it in there, but favourite moment from that episode. And for mine, scene outside Granny's with Emma and Hook. You traded your ship for me. Classic Once Upon a Time moment. That scene is incredible because it's interspersing the Emma and Hook sort of conversation where they're really starting to open up to one another about, you know, what he's done for her, and that's interspersed with Belle and Rumple's wedding, and it's just perfect. It's perfect. Next question, favourite villain. I think my instinctive kind of answer for this question would be Rumpel, because I feel like Regina was a villain but very much turned things around and whatever, whereas Rumpel's always been kind of tailored to this darkness, which obviously we're now going to see hopefully something quite interesting happen in season 5 now that he isn't, but he's always kind of fallen back into the darkness no matter how hard he's tried to stay out of it, and no matter what has happened with him and Belle, he's always ended up going back to it and doing terrible things. And so much as though you want to kind of hate him, and there have been moments, especially in season 4, where I just couldn't deal with him, Robert Carlyle's amazing, and he plays that character so well that you can't help but kind of love him. I hated Zelina in season 3, but I have to say in season 4 she's really amused me, so I don't mind Zelina either. Question 7, saddest moment. There have been a lot, but I think probably the Rumpel and Belle, either the Rumpel and Belle moment when she has to send him across the town line and she's just absolutely heartbroken. That was really, really sad. And also the moment in season 3 when Emma and Henry had to leave Storybrooke and leave everyone else behind. That was really sad, so probably one of those moments. Also Neil's death was obviously really sad, so there've been a lot of really sad moments. Question 8, a character that you'd like to see more of. I've got 3 answers for this because I couldn't just narrow it down to one. But I really miss Ruby, or Red. I really miss her. We saw so much more of her in the early seasons. So in season 1, you know, she was such an integral part of what was happening. And I actually really miss her, and I hope from some of the things that I've read that we're going to be seeing more of her again in season 5, because I think she's a great character. Also Mulan, I really, really liked Mulan, and I loved the kind of sort of direction that they were taking that character in. And I just would really like to see some more of her because I think she's great, and Jamie Chung is beautiful. And third, and probably most significantly for me, August / Pinocchio. I loved August. I thought in season 1 he was great, and you know, everything that happened between him and Emma, I loved that backstory. And yeah, I've quite missed him, so I really, really enjoyed seeing him back in season 4 and would love to see some more of him. Question 9, best twist and or shock throughout the 4 seasons so far. I think for me that's got to be the connection between Rumpel and Peter Pan. Finding out that he was his dad was genuinely just one of the most like mind-blowing moments for me. I just thought that it was such a good twist to throw in there, and it made everything that was already so complicated even more complicated, and it kind of painted this sort of picture of Rumpel's past and what had happened to him, and then reflecting that on what then happened with him and with Bellfire and, you know, etc, etc. I just thought that it was such a clever twist. Next question, land you would most like to visit. So out of, you know, the Enchanted Forest, Storybrooke, Neverland, soon to be Camelot, various different places. I think probably the Enchanted Forest. I'd love to visit Storybrooke just because that's where they're all kind of living now. But in terms of the kind of magical side of things, I'd love to go to the Enchanted Forest, because who wouldn't want to go to the Enchanted Forest, really, just to experience it, even just for a day? Neverland is terrifying, so would not want to go there. Next question is, who has been your favourite guest star or character who has only been in it for a short period of time? And I would say that that would be Elizabeth Mitchell as the Snow Queen, because I love Elizabeth Mitchell. I've loved her from Lost. I just think she's such a good actress. And although the character was obviously not exactly doing good when she was there, I love her as an actress, so I'd definitely be up for seeing more of her. I realise that's unlikely, but hey, it's once upon a time. Anything can happen. Next question, the moment that you would like to change. So if you could go back into Once Upon a Time, dip into the, you know, storylines from the past and change one moment, what would it be? So I have 2. They are both Hook related, which I'm sure will come as no surprise. The first moment that I would like to change would be that Emma got to hear Hook's voicemail message in season 4 when he was being controlled by Rumpel, and he left that voicemail telling her that he'd done some stupid, terrible things and he wished that he hadn't done them, but he did it because he got his hand back because he wanted to be a better man for her and all that. Like, oh, it was so lovely. And so I would really have loved for her to hear that, because to this day she doesn't know about it, and it just sort of pains me. And additionally, in connection with that, I would go back and change the moment when they got back from their first date and they were kind of outside the loft and like having their little flirty chat, and then she sort of kisses him goodnight and goes off into the house and whatever, and she's all like, oh, I've had a wonderful date, and he's like totally distracted by his hand. Just no. Next question, the character who your feelings towards have changed the most dramatically. So for me, that would be Regina. I'm sure that's probably the case with a lot of people, but obviously in season 1 and parts of sort of season 2, she's set out to be quite antagonistic and to be a villain, and she was in sort of just totally consumed by this darkness and this need for revenge, and did a lot of awful things. And then as you see her through the season starting to change and grow and redeem herself and just become more of a hero, I just absolutely love her. I think Lana Puri is such a good actress, and I think Regina's such an interesting character. Next question, who is your crush on the show? Pretty obvious, I think. Probably don't need to really answer that question, but my crush on the show is Hook, which I'm sure is not a surprise to anybody. I just love his character. I love everything about him, really. And yeah, he's definitely my number one crush on the show. August as well. I've always had a soft spot for August because I think he's really lovely. This is one that I just kind of chucked in there as a little extra, but favourite costume throughout the 4 seasons up to this point, I would say Emma's red dress from the season 3 finale when she and Hook are at the ball. It's just stunning, and I would totally wear that if someone invited me to a fairy tale ball. Second last question, 3 things that you really love about the show. Now, there are a million things that I really love about Once Upon a Time, but I would say that the 3 things that I really particularly enjoy are the development of characters that we already know, so bringing in these characters that we've known from Disney films and mythology and, you know, fairy tales from long ago, bringing them in and then developing them and giving them these backstories that we didn't have access to before. So, you know, Ursula's entire backstory and Cruella, things that have happened with her, all these things that we start to get this feel for, and it builds and it develops these characters in this really interesting way. And I just absolutely love that. So that's probably my number 1 favourite thing about the show. Second thing that I really love about it is that they have such amazing, like, feisty, strong female characters who are totally kick-ass, and it's not this kind of old school Disney style fairy tale princesses sitting waiting to be rescued by the prince or just waiting for a man to come along. They're totally kick-ass. They will solve their own issues. Snow back in the Enchanted Forest was so unbelievably like fiery and in control and just was amazing. And then you've got Emma and you've got Regina and all these really amazing powerful women who I just think is fantastic, so big fan of that. And the third thing that I would say I love about it is that it's just complete and utter wonderful escapism. The writing's so good, and the twists and the turns and the really amazing storylines that are built into this show just allow you to kind of disappear into this lovely bubble of just total escapism, and that I think is something that a lot of people appreciate about it. So yeah, those are my 3 favourite things about the show. And the final question is, what are you looking forward to next season? So for season 5, I'm really looking forward to Emma not being the Dark Swan anymore. That's a shame. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that, because I think for Jennifer Morrison this will probably be a lot of fun. It's a totally different side of the character to play and explore. So I think that that's going to be really good, but I'm also looking forward to when that ends and she's not causing chaos anymore. I'm looking forward to the Camelot stuff, because I think that it's always good to bring in a new land and new characters and stuff, because when you're having a show go on for as many seasons, then you always have to kind of bring in fresh, you know, characters and whatever to keep things interesting. So I think that's going to be good. I'm also looking forward to meeting Merida. I think that's going to be great. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with the Robin, Regina, Zelina love triangle pregnancy situation. I think that's going to probably be quite frustrating, but hopefully Robin and Regina will get through it. And obviously just more nice Captain Swan stuff, like more nice moments. We finally got the I love you in the season 4 finale, which we've been waiting for such a long time. So fingers crossed, when we go into season 5, we will then get to see him say it back, because let's be honest, he's been wanting to say it for a really long time, and then she beat him to it just as she was about to be dragged off into a weird cloud of swirling smoke. So fingers crossed he'll get to say it back and everything will work out nicely in season 5. So that's it for my Once Upon a Time tag. I have tried to not ramble for too long, but I probably have. But I really hope that you have enjoyed this. I'm straight up going to tag my friend Roisin from Rose Keats, because she has recently started watching the show and binged the whole thing. So Roisin, I would like for you to film this when you've got some time. And anyone else who is a Once Upon a Time fan. I know I follow a lot of people on Twitter who are huge fans of the show, so even if you don't have a YouTube channel, let me know in the comments down below what your responses to some of these questions would be, and or write a blog post maybe. This doesn't have to be a video response situation, you could just write it in a blog post or whatever, and just let me know what your answers are. So if you enjoyed this video and you're as much of a Once Upon a Time fan as I am, do give it a thumbs up, I would really appreciate that. And if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe, because I am hopefully going to be doing some Once Upon a Time reviews and stuff once the season kicks off in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you so much for watching, I really hope that you have enjoyed this, and I will speak to you all again soon. Bye! I really enjoyed the panel. This year we had Adam and Eddie, Josh and Jenny, Jennifer, Colin, Rebecca Mader, Robert Carlyle,